Who's gonna do the intro?
I don't know. Are you gonna?
Should we all just do it? Should we all just do welcome to Good, Bad, and the Spoilers on 3?
Hello, welcome to Good, Bad, and Spoilers, brought to you by iPhone and their phones that get to levels where I'm worried about burning down my house.
No,
Same thing's happening with my laptop.
If you're gonna have it brought to anybody, brought to you by friggin' Android.
Brought to you by this microphone.
But I don't feel like I'm having a fire hazard in my hand when I'm using an Android.
Well, obviously, I haven't charged one.
We're very, very open to a sponsorship by Apple. If you want to,
Good.
What happened?
So on this,
what happened?
So
I don't know.
let's start over.
Okay, welcome to Good, Bad, and the Spoiler.
Bum bum bum.
What?
Okay, stop laughing.
So if you wanted to do a music bit after that, it would have been
Okay, I'm calling that our intro because I don't want to hear it anymore.
I would like to apologize to any headphone users.
Nope, no, we don't care about
That's what audio editing is for.
Nope, I'm gonna make it even worse.
Please don't.
So today, we're going to be talking about Batman versus Superman, or as I like to call it, Bats v Soups. Because we've got one person who seriously hates the movie.
That's me, by the way. Hi, I'm Aaron.
Yes, we should probably introduce ourselves.
Oh, no.
Nobody needs to know our title, just needs to know our names so that they have a name to put to the voice.
Oh, I guess.
Alright, so start working from Roger around the circle.
Well, I'm Roger, Blaid, whatever.
God.
That's God. Hi, God.
Hi.
Yeah, on the podcast, you got ain't nothing got on us. We've got God on our podcast. Suck it.
You guys had
Four
Peter
star?
Dinklage. We have God.
what?
Suck it, Rooster Teeth and Off Topic. We got God.
We love you.
Come on, just now finally getting the Rooster Teeth things. Just give me a break.
Hi, I'm Aaron, also known as Jesus.
Jesus. He is Jesus.
No, Jesus or Jeebus.
Jeebus.
too.
I like Jeebus.
Jeebus.
It's just the letter G.
G with the bus.
Gangster
School
bus.
children, school orphans that are on fire
Because of the apple.
because of the apple.
No, you've got blue on the front of the truck and red on the back. It's a G bus.
No.
Well, that reference flew over my head.
Get started.
He's talking about the Bloods and the Crips.
All right, I thought you guys were talking about red versus blue. Okay.
Yeah,
No, G as in real G gangster.
Wow,
Okay.
you could have sounded more white.
Wow.
Yeah, you could
So,
have sounded
Manny.
like me.
Hi, I'm Manny. My entire name is full of nicknames. So, yeah.
Okay.
The M-Man.
No. You have to introduce yourself the one way.
Okay. Just for you because apparently it makes your pants wet. Hi. Hi, Mac. Beep. Game designer. Beep. No, I cannot use my last name.
Why not?
I don't want to.
Mac beep.
It's like I am the new item on the dollar menu. The McBeep.
Okay.
McBeep.
I guess that's less than $1 than today, isn't it?
Gee,
Yes.
game designer, formerly known as Manny.
We need actual beeps there, by the way.
Yes, I'm
Let's
glad.
try and keep language to a minimum.
Challenge accepted.
Not.
I said to a minimum. I know it's not possible
On your
because
end.
I myself,
I did exactly.
I'm gonna get so angry that people are probably gonna turn how many times they say "f*** into a drinking game.
Challenge mother fucking
Your
accepted.
turn.
Okay, that's
Introduce yourself and
enough.
we can start.
Hello, I'm Alex.
Fantastic. Now, let's get this show on the roll. It's alright. It's the most apt description so far.
And you said true, so
True.
you said true.
It's the taming of.
Okay, so we have dogs, trying to bust in on our really, really secure set we have going here in the middle of the living
It's not
room.
like they're even going to be able to be picked up on the microphone.
You're
You never
ruining the
know.
fourth wall.
Okay, yeah.
Word of
So,
word of
okay,
wall.
so hold on. We have two people here who pretty much don't like the movie. Two people who are kind of mad on the wall about it, and we have one person who actually likes it. So we're gonna get a well-rounded view, kind of.
At least a nice discussion going around.
Yeah, hopefully.
So, anyway, man, you just got back from seeing the movie, so you probably, and you actually kind of like it, so you probably have the freshest view.
Maybe we should end with what's good about it, though.
That's a good idea. That
probably.
way we're not,
No,
we don't-
because a lot of people bash it.
Well,
We should sprinkle it in with.
Okay, that's
should,
fair.
You know, good,
And
bad,
besides-
the good, bad, and the ugly about it.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's going to kind of jumble in anyway, so, you know.
So we'll actually use the name as the format. Good, bad, ugly.
Well, it's good, bad, and spoiler.
No, but see, I can definitely find things I found ugly about the movie. So, yeah.
Well, let's start with, since Alex is right, we just got back from watching the movie. You have the freshest opinion. What is your overall judgment that you place on the film directed by Zack Snyder?
Okay. Now here's
okay?
something that I've been wanting to say since we pretty much got back to it. Of course, you guys have your apprehensions about it based on very, very technical aspects of it. Right?
No, it's about the whole movie.
Yeah.
It should be stated that some of us may work in film, and Manny does not. But he is a lover of comics.
Yes, that's what I was going to get to.
Continue.
Yeah, from a comic book fan's point of view, it hit notes that I wanted to see, and that's what satisfied the most about it. Satisfied me the most about it.
So
Is that the right sentence?
overall, you're satisfied.
Yes.
You're
And
not
I guess
disappointed. You're satisfied.
I guess I can see that as someone I guess is not a huge fan of the comics, but has read some of them. I can kind of agree.
Well, hold on. Now that we've heard the absolute comic book lovers fan, let's go to the older comic generation.
Well, because God is old.
Well, you, like all of us, grew up reading the comics, right?
Not the DC ones, though. I was, the other guy's fan.
The other guys. Is that
Obviously.
Dwayne Johnson and Samuel L. Jackson?
Obviously, the other guys that we're talking about is Dark Horse Comics.
Actually, you
They're
know
the
what?
same guys.
But they made way better
They
comics.
did, actually.
So many
Dark
better.
Horse made much better comics.
Yeah.
So much better.
Okay. Views and expressions expressed in this podcast are not the views of Double Take Las Vegas as an entity.
Even though he's the owner of the company.
Yeah, he's bullshalamming this.
I like
Oh,
that.
we actually braked.
Ah, perfect. We're getting good readings.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
What were you saying though? What was your overall take on this thing?
Well, unfortunately, because I'm not a major DC fan of the comics, I've never been a major DC fan in general. Oh, you want me to talk up a little more? Okay. I really did not enjoy or understand the relationship between the comics and the movie as far as a pleasing. It was really hard for me to go. I kept falling asleep. I mean, I did not understand the relationship from comic to movie.
Right.
I lost it.
Alex, what was your overall opinion?
I thought that from a movie standpoint, if you're trying to look at this like a art piece that you wanted to critique, like it was an art piece, that it was probably one of the worst things ever made. Not gonna say worse, but it really, really lacked, and you could really just tear it apart. But if you're looking at it from the standpoint of you're bored on Saturday and you had $7 to spend on a matinee, I mean, it was entertaining.
I would definitely go see this in the Dollar Theater. I would even see it, No, it'd just be the dollar theater. I can't see
Mostly-
spending $7.
Mostly, I would have wanted to go to the theater if it was cheap enough just to see Aaron's reaction watching the whole thing, just in a theater setting.
Both of our reactions would have been a nice show.
But on different spectrums. And
Exactly.
it's been
Hence,
interesting.
the
Well,
good and the ugly.
You didn't see me though.
We'll get your opinion. I want a Matt opinion to end this part.
That's fine.
We'll go back. We'll go to my opinion now. Through the entire film, both the first time watching it and the second time watching it, I was left asking why at every plot point. At every single plot point. Why is this happening? Why is this character doing this? Why is this relationship here? Why are they acting like this? When those are questions that need to be answered in the first act of any film, of any comic series. That's just basic storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion.
I agree
and
with
that's
you.
actually my biggest issue with the film and my overall opinion with the movie is that I'm left asking why.
I think the biggest reason that might become an issue is, I might be misattributing this, but some people quote Stan Lee as having said, every comic is someone's first comic. So and this also applies to these movies, if you go to watch it, and, this could be the third part of a trilogy, but if you can't understand the basics of what's going on in this movie, seeing it alone, you have an issue. They seem to understand this to a degree because they did give an opening sequence for what led to Bruce Wayne becoming Batman in his childhood when his parents were killed.
Well, actually, we'll get back to this point as we come back around. What was your overall opinion?
I thought the action scenes were really cool, and I liked I liked the casting they had, and I really enjoyed how they paid homage to the Joker. They paid homage to the Joker with their Lex Luthor Jr. thing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something completely different. But no, actually, I can actually agree with you on the Lex Luthor bit. But I'll tell you.
Oh, that's just.
Okay.
Oh.
Are we talking about how Lex Luthor acted like the Joker?
That is what he's
that's
referencing.
why
We'll get back to that point
Yeah,
too.
well, I actually have an interesting bit to that. So go on.
Overall, my feeling of the movie, it's a movie of some disconnected, cool scenes. In the middle of a just completely insane storyline, just completely no emotional connection to really any of the characters, and overall bad designs. I wasn't a huge fan of specifically Wonder Woman, but I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, I like the action scenes.
She had a nice costume.
She had a nice costume, but I personally feel like there could have been more.
Okay, that's a tangent. So we'll move on. That was the overall. So I guess we should talk first about what we liked about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
last.
Now, before we continue any further, I'm just going to say this because I personally do not like Zack Snyder as a director 100% at all. I've never seen a movie of his that I've actually enjoyed, but I do have to give him credit where credit is due, and that is if anybody can become a director and actually make money, congratulations to you. So I have to say that.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I have to say that.
And with the
I
big
respect-
actors he always gets too.
I respect him as a director in that regard, but I can't stand his films.
All right.
I have to
Businessman,
say
not
that.
as an artist.
I will only leave it as to what I said. Okay, now we can continue. Now that I've said that, because there will be some major
Snyder hate.
snuffing on
Well,
snuffing.
let's start off with the opening of the movie was actually pretty cool.
I feel like visually it was a good wrap up to a story we already knew.
And it was
Yeah.
it was a nice way to summarize a story most of us already knew going into the movie.
And especially
Inside
a story that we've already seen in the last 10 years.
I don't know if it's just all the people that I've been hearing praising this Pearl scene at the very beginning.
See, I
I
didn't really care for it.
all it screamed was art house bullshit. and it felt like they were really cramming down the emotional strangulation of the mother's pearls falling down and connecting Bruce Wayne's inner turmoil. It just feels like it was too forced.
I thought we were talking about good stuff.
I thought it was just visual. I just thought it was visually cool. I didn't get anything emotional from it.
I agree with Alex.
Yeah, visually it was interesting.
Let's start with the good.
And I can
Start
elaborate
with
on
the good.
the whole pearls thing.
Well,
a little bit,
let's-
yeah, I know. Start with the
let's
good
go-
first. Yes.
Starting with the
No,
good.
let's start with you, Manny,
Oh,
since
wait,
you actually enjoy the film.
But what about you two? You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Well, no, because the thing is, I feel like that if I end up saying the things I like about it, it's going to be a little too long.
Doesn't matter. This thing's gonna be long anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Things-
2.5-hour film
Okay.
that should not have been 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Good, people. Keep on track.
Okay.
Good.
So, all right. So the pearl scene. The reason why I'm actually okay with that, with how it was set up, where her pearls got caught in the gun and kaboom, blah blah blah, is because in a majority of most comics that I've read, where they reenact that scene, either Martha's pearls are either just torn away from her in the struggle and she's shot, or they just somehow magically fall off her neck, hit the pavement, and scramble into a million pieces. And that's one I've always found kind of unusual. In this case, this pretty much says that she was pretty much shot right around here, and that's pretty fucked up for an 8-year-old to see.
Here is by his neck and ear.
She's going straight up. The pearls are caught in in the gun, and it's just. That's pretty fucked up for a kid to see. Seeing their mom's head just get blown straight out the back. I mean, that's what I feel like it's implying.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it probably is.
and I think that's pretty neat. And in term of like all the other iterations of death we've seen of the Waynes.
I will give it this. It was a particular telling of his origin story in a way that I have not seen before.
Oh yeah, not only that, the father was still alive enough to also witness that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it was new and it was somewhat original, and I will give it that.
There were some cool shots in that.
Yeah,
The
there
slow
were
motion
some
stuff
interesting
happening
shots.
in there was pretty cool. Like,
Shall I continue elaborating about what I
said
liked?
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Continue.
So I guess I'll just for now just bullet the bits that I liked. Build up to Justice League. I actually like Lex Luthor.
Really?
wow.
You'll see
Well,
why in a second.
good.
You'll see why in a second. Alright, so my likes. I said that I liked. There was a Pearl scene. I said I actually liked Lex Luthor. The build up for Justice League and all that. I don't know. I feel like I don't think I can exactly say what I liked unless you guys bring up the bits that you hate. Just so that way I can bring up the reason why I think it was good.
You want a counter argument?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Not
should
as a
probably-
counter argument. I'm just going to explain why. I don't think I'm going to be able to like justify why that scene. Well, no, I probably might.
But no, it's different. Like, I mean, you don't want to just try and like make a mental list of all the things that you might have liked about this movie, and you're probably going to remember more things that you were either okay with or liked better if you hear.
Well, I can because I can count them all on one hand.
I can also explain why well actually I think I remember the bits that I didn't like more than the bits I actually did like, so that's one thing.
All right.
That's the other thing. Like, I think there's an effect whenever there's a movie like this. You remember the things, like Manny just said. You remember the things that you hated a lot more clearly than anything you might have.
That's actually why I was more okay with going and actually seeing it the second time with Manny, is because I did want a refresher. I wanted to get a second view on it before I tore it apart. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I wanted to clear my understanding of it, before we did this. So I can count the things that I did like on one hand. I enjoyed the small pieces, the little tiny details. That was kind of like a clue into what time, what place in time we are in with Bruce Banner specifically.
Right.
Not Bruce Banner. Sorry, Wayne. Wayne.
We were having a
Bruce
conversation
Wayne.
earlier involving Bruce Banner.
Wayne. Batman.
Right.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, Superman.
Shut up. But with Bruce Wayne specifically, for example, the burned down Wayne Manor. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I
like that too.
I did enjoy the Joker hints in on the suit and
Robin suit.
yeah, on the Robin suit. That was kind of cool. It kind of insinuates where we might be in the universe in what time period.
Oh, there we go.
There's
That's
also-
one thing that I like. Batman.
There's also some very interesting fan theories tied to that suit we might go into later.
Yeah, I imagine those are going to connect very well with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Mainly because
It's already
well,
pretty
it's supposed to be part of the new DC universe.
and it's already part, and it's already been confirmed pretty much that Batfleck is going to be in Suicide Squad. So
Yeah, well, the previews themselves have confirmed
Yeah.
it.
Ben Affleck,
Batfleck.
Batman.
that's what they used to. That's what they called him to mock him. But
And
he
another
wasn't
one,
fine.
I think he was the best part of that whole thing.
He was.
I actually kind of agree. I was surprised how much I was all right with Affleck as Batman.
I wasn't. I like Ben Affleck. Now
weird
that
thing-
now actually getting back on topic, going back to the things I enjoyed, being the small little details. I really liked the casting. Awesome cast.
Right.
Visual effects were cool.
Yeah.
Some of them were poorly done, but that's
But no,
nitpicking.
a lot of them were amazing.
Yeah, a lot of them were like I said, I'm nitpicking at that
Right.
point. What else did I like?
So far, I'm with you. You liked everything I liked.
Anything else I like?
Superman was my favorite movie.
I like the costume design.
Costume design that was a really freaking cool bat suit.
That was a cool bat suit. I did enjoy the costume design.
Yeah,
I
another
was
thing
not a
that
huge fan of the Iron Batman, but the suit
I-
itself,
I-
the regular suit.
I like the Iron Batman personally. Mainly, well, we'll get to that. Anyway.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say was though, another thing that that I did like was all the tiny, like you said, all the little details. In my case, it was all the little, the subtle references to previous Batman Superman related comics and all that kind of stuff. So, all right.
Yeah.
Roger?
Yeah, no, I can agree. There were a lot of them the ones that I managed to actually read, I was getting a lot of inspiration from with the movie. My main reason I didn't really like the Iron Batman suit was it just seemed too bland.
Clunky.
It was.
Oh, bland?
It was.
Okay.
I felt it was clunky.
Yeah, definitely
But-
very clunky, but it just didn't stand out enough.
It looked bulky, but at the same time, if I had to imagine a suit that if
That
I
could
would end
withstand
up
a
building to try and fight Superman, I don't
Well,
imagine it looking any leaner or less.
No,
clunky.
definitely
Yeah.
not. I mean, it reminded me of the of Iron Man's first
Right.
Iron suit.
Yeah.
In order to fight Superman, you basically have to wear a tank.
Yeah,
Like the-
and
like the Hulkbuster.
That I wasn't against. It just
Yeah, kind of like the Hulkbuster.
that I wasn't really against. But
Right.
with the Hulkbuster, it looked cool. With the Iron Batman
Well,
suit.
hold
just
on.
reason why-
Hold on. Take personality of characters into consideration for a second. Iron Man
Yes.
is not going to make anything that he wouldn't look at and go,
I
God,
look
that's
hot in that,
badass.
yeah.
I would look
Batman
hot in
is
that.
Going to look at
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Batman's
That's
gonna
very true.
Batman's gonna sacrifice form for functionality.
Good
He's not-
things,
he's not a
though,
Bauhaus guy.
Good things. All the scenes that it was kind of putting focus, heavy rain all over the place, and just Iron Batman suits, glowing eyes. That was cool.
that was really cool, and it was also a really nice tribute to
Oh.
all the comics and the animated
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
That was another thing I was going to say. Visually, the film is striking.
Yeah,
It
it's-
definitely is.
visually it is very, very impressive.
I would actually like to see Zack Snyder do his own graphic novels
Right.
with somebody else writing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though, how much of that the writing can we blame on Zack Snyder and Ben?
Well, considering Zack Snyder was a co-writer.
Was he actually?
Yeah.
Okay, that I wasn't aware.
Then who was the main writer?
I thought. Ben
I don't have
Affleck
my
was.
phone. I don't have my
Ben
phone.
Affleck was not the main writer.
Usually, isn't he the main? writer
Sammie-Sven,
on
can we
everything
get some fact checks from you while we're talking?
Actually,
Writers for
that's-
Batman vs
that's a good
Superman.
thing to go to. Like the visual design of a lot of the things we saw in the movie, like putting away like the costumes, the bat vehicles were really really cool.
Yeah, they reminded me. They reminded me of the Christopher Nolan vehicles.
The Tumblr.
I actually want to go into that later.
Okay. It reminded me of those, but it still had enough of a difference
Like,
to
there
make
was-
them
there was-
to make them their own thing.
there was a lot of work that went into the design of a lot of the visuals we got, and
Yeah.
things like Doomsday.
Ugh.
Doomsday-
Well,
Oh, okay. I think I hit a nerve on Manny.
Expecting that.
did you hit a McNerve?
What the f?
No, we're not fucking doing this, okay?
Okay,
What?
God, what did you
Put that
like about the
shiitake
movie?
mushroom bullcrap in the closet, okay? Just lay down.
That's actually funny because I thought the design, now, not the origin or anything else about Doomsday, but I thought the design for him was cool. It was very reminiscent of all the comics I read that had him in it. Well, admittedly, yeah, definitely not how he was created, why he was there,
Yeah.
anything that involved him at all like that.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it looked like it.
Gotham looked beautiful.
Okay, I need.
Okay.
Hold on, hold on,
Jersey,
guys.
yes.
I need to add an addendum. I was wrong. He was not a co-writer.
He was not. Okay.
He was not a co-writer, but let's face it, he's a director.
His decisions overwrite any writing.
Yes. Oh, wait. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, directors' decisions do overwrite everything.
But the writing, whoever wrote that movie, there was
So do
some-
producers.
They can, but you know they're given a block of marble to carve from, and you know that is the script, that is the original writing.
And
There's
to
only
be
so much you can do with certain pieces that people can't use.
yeah, and to be fair, even somebody like Zack Snyder could be caught up by a studio going, no. We like this idea better, put it in.
It's
So
true.
to be fair,
Right.
all of the blame may not all be on Zack Snyder. However, I will say this, he's shown the exact same problems in previous films that he has in this film. So
Yeah.
So you're saying he's a crappy director or he's a wuss?
I'm saying I don't know the man personally.
Fair.
That's very fair.
What we can tell you is that Michael Bay does some similar level bullshit when he's making his movies, but he seems to get what he wants.
Well, and Michael Bay can direct something that's watchable.
Yeah, he definitely can.
Something that has a cohesive story and plot
Yeah.
that produces well, let's face it, a movie that is
Right.
worth the $100 million that are going into it.
Michael Bay made the Transformers, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably an unpopular opinion. I like the first two Transformers movies.
I like.
I really liked the first one. Wasn't too fond of the second one, mainly for the visual effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third one, I was actually very okay with.
After the
Okay.
second one,
I don't think I've seen the third one.
but
May have.
Okay, back on Batman.
I was gonna say.
Batsuit.
Bat v Soups.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just mispronounced bat suit or if you're saying bat versus soup.
Batsuit.
Okay.
Bat soup.
Bat soup.
Okay.
Bat soup.
So I guess
Okay.
we're calling it.
So
The likes, I have to agree with you. I didn't like anything else more.
you being Aaron.
You being Aaron, yes.
the trials and tribulations we have to go through with audio only.
Anyway,
So, I mean, I'm pretty much on the same level with you. I actually liked less than you did.
but I also got to see it the second time, and not a bootleg.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
totally legal. Completely nothing. No,
And not a
no.
bee.
Oh yeah, actually, also kind of like Wonder Woman too.
Shh.
Did everybody do their goods?
But in
Did,
bits and pieces.
did we all
necessarily.
do our likes?
I think we did. Did you?
I thought some of the scenes with Wonder Woman were cool. The main reason I think I liked her though was because when she showed up, the score finally changed to a different song.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
I'm really glad
There's
that
a score?
Yes.
Yes, I do not.
I'm really glad that you brought that
I
up.
do not know how they got Hans Zimmer and only recorded 2 tracks for the entire 3-hour movie.
Like the 2 tracks were fine because it is Hans Zimmer. The tracks
don't
were
sound
fine
cool.
by themselves.
But I
But if you're forced to listen to them on fucking loop,
I'm
for 3
wondering
hours.
I'm wondering if when they got the film into the edit room, they did their final cut and said yes, this is good, and sent it over to audio, and then they, while it was at audio, went, oh crap, we need to make some changes, got the audio back and said, just loop it.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if that's what happened.
Something weird happened there. I'm not sure. Like
Because those
Wow, I didn't even notice that the score changed.
Me neither.
well,
The thing is,
Yeah, it
he's
changed into
the-
a weird Barracuda
he is like-
remix.
the
type thing.
score was weird.
he's one of those people that can make anything sound cool.
Yeah, Hans
And
Zimmer
he
is
can make
really
the most
really
musical
talented.
Piece of turd ever.
Right, but the thing is, I feel like he was like his work was barely present in the entire movie.
It was, and it was a sad thing because I really like and look up to Hans Zimmer as a producer.
That's the two
Composer.
things you got were
Composer,
really,
yeah.
really freaking cool sounding as all this stuff is.
Yeah, but again, and you could listen to any of the most classical and amazing music ever. You put it on loop, your eyes and ears are
You
gonna
use your
bleed.
favorite song as an alarm tone, and you're gonna hate it by the end of the week.
I tell you, man, that speaks to me on an emotional level.
That's my phone. That's my Bluetooth.
So so we got everybody's goods out of it, right?
Yes.
Does that mean we can finally break into this and crack this
Let's get ugly.
eggshell open? And
Provide counter arguments.
Okay.
Is it the bad time?
I think it
Good,
might be the bad
bad?
time.
If you
Oh no,
guys-
actually now, yeah, I would like us to do bad bits because I do actually have some.
Bad and
I
ugly.
think
I recommend doing a Google search for Verdun because it might turn into that in here.
Verdun. I don't want to know. I want to hear Manny's bad bits first, since he actually did enjoy the film.
Yes.
Okay,
Besides Doomsday, because obviously that was a.
that would actually
Nerve.
yeah. Okay, so
I'm actually curious.
okay, so you want us? Okay, wait.
What nerve did I hit when I mentioned Doomsday?
Okay, so here's my trouble with Doomsday. For the fact that for the first 5-10 minutes he was on screen, he looked like a giant naked gray baby.
Oh, that's so true.
You don't need to say anything else. I think I understand.
Yeah, but then, even after that, even when he apparently got cancer and grew and got bone cancer from the in his legs, in his legs, his arms, his arms, his back, everywhere except for his face, and that's what. Oh, okay.
Hey!
It's okay.
Fudge!
It's okay, man.
He ended up looking. I forget what his name was. There's this one weird Naruto character that he ended up looking like, for me at least. Weird.
Okay, anyways,
but
so
still.
okay, the thing with Doomsday is he's always had a very particular look. Yes, they've kind of touched upon it with this film, but from his pretty much his first appearance, which is the death Superman, I actually didn't mind his origin. I actually quite enjoyed it to a certain extent.
But you also like Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
you'll see why. You'll see why in a second.
No.
No, we won't.
No, I'll tell you in a bit.
Okay, well, we'll at least hear why he likes Lex Luthor.
Well, here, let me explain first the reason why I don't like why I didn't like Doomsday. Because of the fact that, well, the reason why I enjoy his origin is because at least for the Doomsday that I know, I haven't really seen of anything on the New 52 Doomsday. But as far as I know, Doomsday, all he literally was just something made by some obscure race of alien beings. He was just made to fight a war for them. But once there was no more war, they were like, "Oh, what are we gonna do with this thing? I don't know. Let's just toss it out somewhere and see what happens." And not necessarily even see what happens. It was just like out of sight, out of mind type deal, you know.
Nevertheless, they gave the Joker an origin story.
I guess kind of to a certain extent. He was pretty much just like he was literally made by the species to fight a war for them. Once the war was over, out of sight, out of mind. I think that he even started killing some of them, and they're like, oh, okay, this thing can't be satisfied unless it's fighting. So then they just send it off on its way to wherever, and eventually it lands on Earth. Yeah, and then fight Superman. Yada yada yada.
Could you imagine a little chibi Doomsday getting put into a tiny little rocket ship and going pew?
Can you imagine like Doomsday's parents like swallowing him in a special blue blanket with an S on it, going, "I'm sorry, my child. I must send you somewhere safe." Setting him down on the pod. Goodbye.
I'm just imagining replace Stitch from Lilo and Stitch with Doomsday, and then give it that particular twist.
I like to imagine the opposite way around. Imagine Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman fighting Stitch.
That would be amazing.
Can we get that movie instead?
Seriously, and then near the end, after the credits thing, you'll see Stitch dressed as Batman again, And it's adorable.
But yeah, no, yeah, and so Doomsday lands on Earth, and what you first see is this gigantic hulking thing wrapped up in like a green hazmat suit with glowing red eyes and tubes and shit. And eventually, when it tears apart, you see pretty much a gray spiky Hulk. And in this case, the design for Doomsday is that he has like a crown of spikes across his head. He has like tusks. His design is so aggressive and so cool, and they didn't get any of that in, or at least for me, they didn't get any of that with this iteration of Doomsday.
I can agree.
I mean, even the New 52 Doomsday, which I'm not too much of a fan of, he has a beard of spikes.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
I can see where the design of Doomsday, even in its final form,
falls short of the original source material.
Yeah, I can see where you would think it would need to be more aggressive. But they were probably going, it's glowing and it's red and it's huge.
Another thing. That fucking whatever that kind of nuclear electric shock thing he was doing. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
I'm gonna quote Nostalgia Critic here so that I don't get all, oh, you just copied him. It was basically Nostalgia Critic makes a joke that he was copying Superman 4 with Electric Man, how he was just a combination of two bad guys and glowing with radioactive evil.
It actually became a question whether or not this was actually stated that this was supposed to be Doomsday.
Yes.
Yeah, Lex Luthor says, "You're Doomsday."
Yeah,
right, but was it officially stated that that's what the being was, and not what he kept referring to it as when he was creating it, and that we might get Doomsday later on, real Doomsday later on down the road?
True.
That could be a possibility, but I think that would cause way too many problems, continuity-wise.
Right. Yeah.
Down the road. But then again, the type of writing I've seen so far,
they don't.
I mean, one of the main reasons I was alright with it is because there was one of the main comics I read that introduced me to Doomsday was one where it was, this is a prototype, not the one of the Doomsdays before the real one that really kills Superman. And he looked more like that, mostly gray, not many of the spikes. Or anything.
I would say that if that's true and that was actually in the comics, then I guess there could be a possibility that the real Doomsday could be coming later.
Okay.
I mean,
that'd be interesting.
what? This Doomsday died, right?
Pretty much.
So, what'd they do with the body?
See, now that's a thing. I mean, because fucking the U.S. government confiscated Zod's body already, and in this case, they're going to be confiscating it again, technically.
No, didn't Zod's? Do you mean before?
In Man of Steel,
Okay,
they took General Zod's body.
I was gonna say.
And then
Doomsday
that's how
was Zod's body.
that's how Lex Luthor got it in this film, is because he got it back from the military.
So in this case, the military is probably going to be just taking it back, unless Batman and Wonder Woman have done something with it, I hope is what they do.
That would infer intelligence on the superhero sides, which so far in that movie they did not.
Well, I mean, when we saw Man of Steel and we were seeing just Superman doing all of this fucking collateral damage, we're like, Jesus fucking Christ. But then we kind of see that, oh hey, this is why fucking Snyder's making Superman public enemy #1, because to build up to this idea that in Batman vs Superman that everyone is questioning whether they actually want Superman because of how destructive, to see if his destructiveness outweighs his
usefulness.
His usefulness.
Which I do want to point out, though, just on a slight tangent, I've been hearing before I actually managed to watch Man of Steel that basically the idea was he was the one that was destroying everything by his recklessness or anything like that.
Just about, yeah.
Not quite as much as I was expecting.
Yeah,
More
same
than
actually.
Anything else, it was actually Zod and the other aliens that were doing it. The people
That too,
the
yeah.
bad guys actually trying.
But when there's only one person to blame,
Yeah, everyone else is
Yeah.
dead.
And when you draw that kind of attention, if you have a nice, quiet, peaceful household, and I show up with a bunch of Bloods following me, you blame me for drawing the Bloods on you.
Yeah, but that's...
This is not a personal experience at all. Okay.
but
They were pretty cool over for dinner once.
so
Especially that super polite one.
was there anything else you
That was
disliked?
great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
there's probably at least 2-3 more things at least. Okay, second one. Why is Gotham and Metropolis so close to each other?
Because Because
Yeah.
they're basically supposed to be New York and New
The
Jersey.
issue is like, I don't have much expansive knowledge of the DC universe, but I get what you're saying. Because from what I always understood, I always imagined like
Gotham
if it was
is
America. Gotham would be like Chicago, and Metropolis would be like New York.
actually for
See-
me that's reverse. Actually, for me,
Yeah.
Chicago would be Superman, would be Metropolis. New York is Gotham.
Well,
and
the
I
idea
think
is
and
the
See-
distance,
see-
and I always thought it was something more like LA versus New York City. That's the way I always
And I always thought of it as Gotham was New York, and Metropolis, Metropolis.
yeah,
right?
Metropolis.
Metropolis was always either like Philadelphia or Boston or DC, depending on what was happening.
See, Boston, I can kind of see. I think the
Yeah.
thing with the,
But I had always felt that it was purely East Coast.
I thought you should never be able to see a spotlight being shown in Gotham from Metropolis. Like,
yeah, especially when you read the comics, that the contrast is so different. Metropolis is this bright, shiny, beautiful city with that's just everything's nice and
Right.
polished.
Now-
New York
Gotham
City.
is gritty as
Now,
hell.
what they
New
could
Jersey.
be saying, what they could be saying is maybe Gotham is Queens and Metropolis is Manhattan.
But the thing is,
I
if
could
they're that
actually
close-
believe that.
My issue is, if they're that close, why the hell is Batman only focusing on issues in Gotham?
Yeah, it's like
I
it's
agree.
Like, it's like a whole county. It's like if he had a superhero and he only operated in Henderson.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like why.
It's like I'm not gonna cross the 215 for that. My superhero mobile is. I don't have to deal with Summerlin.
That man robbed the bank. He's killed 3 cops. I'll stop him. Chase him. Oh, no. What's going on?
Well, this is Henderson, and that's unincorporated Clark County. I'm not crossing that line. I mean, you know what kind of paperwork
Superman and Batman are friends now. Superman's up in North Las Vegas, and he's calling up Batman. He's like, "Hey, I need some help. I'm chasing these guys," and Batman's just like, "Yeah,
About that.
you got the gas money, dude. It's like 30 cents more expensive over there, man. I can't."
Yeah, see, that's why they should. That's why they should really be separate cities, not separate counties.
If I enter into this county, I'm entering into every county that county's been with.
If anything, the area where Lex and
It's like a cup of tea.
yeah, it's like, well, I mean, I guess
If the person is unconscious, they don't want tea.
because like I would have at first thought this meant that like Lex was in his corporate offices in Gotham, and that's how you're able to see his spotlight from there. But then when Superman saves Lois Lane and he pretty much goes right from the tower right down to the streets and says, I need to go to Gotham. That's when I realized, wait, are those two cities that close to each other? And it's just like, what?
Yeah,
if anything, the place that where Superman saved Lois Lane, if anything, that would be Bloodhaven.
More than anything else, back on your topic of why doesn't Batman just go over and help people in Metropolis? Why doesn't Superman help
Exactly.
people in Gotham?
Yeah, and it's like, the thing is, like, I never would have minded, like, Superman having to fly a distance to get to Gotham. Because the thing is, he flies at least 3 times the speed of sound.
He turned back time. He moved so fast.
Okay,
He did
We
do
are
that
not
once.
talking
He
about
did.
that. We are not talking about that.
We know he can go at least. We know he can probably go at least 3 times the speed of sound. So it really wouldn't be anything for him to fly from even.
It'd be like literally a hop, skipping, and he's there.
Yeah.
Not even a hop or a skip.
Found one building and he's
No.
across the entire country.
That's
what I'm
him
saying is,
taking his
like,
time.
What I'm saying is, even if Gotham was on the West Coast and Metropolis was on the East Coast, it would only take him like 2 or 3 hours to get across.
If that.
You still wouldn't
If
be able
that.
to see the spotlight though.
He got from the Daily Planet to Lois Lane in the middle of Afghanistan, Iraq, or whatever in literally less than a few seconds.
Unincorporated terrorist town.
Yes, in less
Maybe
than a
the
minute.
light's like the Luxor. You can see it from space.
Yeah, but you can't see it from New York City.
That's because of the curvature of the Earth.
Okay, back to like the villains, because Lex Luthor was a really
Wait, I'm not sure.
Well, what's Manny's third?
Yeah, I
let me
really-
think. Let me think. There's at least two.
You said Doomsday.
There was Doomsday.
You said the distance between the
Gotham
cities.
and Metropolis. I think the third one was. I think the third one was that bomb scene. Well, not necessarily. Well, yeah, the bomb scene. Because for one thing,
yeah.
we could obviously tell that jar was obviously a jar of Lex Luthor's piss.
right.
How could Superman walk in there and not wonder, Anybody piss in here? With all of his super senses, he couldn't smell. Excuse me, I think you have a jar of piss on your desk.
I can write that one off. Besides the bad writing that obviously surrounds the character of Superman, always has. I can write that off as he has to ignore so much shit just to exist in a in a normal society.
Good point.
That a jar of piss is probably the last thing he pays attention to.
Good point.
But the fact is,
The fact is that entire scene would have happened if at the Capitol building there had been one bomb-sniffing dog.
seriously,
We'll come back to that. Was there any other points you want to touch on right now?
Well, I think it's a little bit more as well as Superman. This is Snyder's Superman is just so mopey. He's
emo Superman.
Yeah, it's
Superman is
yeah.
mopey.
There we go.
Superman is mopey.
There is almost no distinction between Batman and Superman in terms of personality to an extent.
And we'll come back to that.
Okay.
I appreciate the mopiness of this Superman to a degree, though, because I was just getting so freaking tired of, hey, I'm Superman, and I can do basically anything I want, because, you can't do anything to me.
No, but see, that's the thing. I wouldn't mind a mopiness if they balance it out with Superman's wholesomeness.
Yeah,
because he's supposed to. Because
some level of.
We will come back to that. Yeah, I think that's a point better come back to
in a
later.
Second, later, yeah.
Because I would
hope
like.
somebody's taking notes.
I would like. Well, somebody watching is going to take notes. I think.
And they can
Maybe.
complain about it in the comments if we don't come back to it.
I know.
Yes, they will.
But yeah.
I want to start now that we've heard Manny's dislikes. I want to
I think
start
I
actually
done
breaking the film down to its core elements and talking about it. The actual plot, the quality of the writing, et cetera, the acting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
All right.
Which
Yeah,
I'd
just
like to
'cause-
add is the reason why we all hate it, besides Manny.
Right.
But that's the thing. I'm not looking at it from your particular. I'm looking at it from a particular point of view.
Well, I think we've pretty much
neither am I,
covered
but, I mean,
everything, though.
Even from there, I think a lot of the hate
I
goes down to
yeah.
the same things you guys have, but I'm not quite as inhibited by love for the comics. Because I definitely am not a fan of DC.
Neither am I.
Neither am I.
Yeah, I'm not. I think you're the only one.
I think, yeah.
I
Now,
know-
I think
I do really like Batman, and I have almost always been a fan of Batman.
more or less. Any of the movies that
I think-
animated movies
I
that I'm
think-
watching.
I think to appropriately continue with this. What are we calling this?
Good, bad, and ugly.
The good, the bad, and the spoilers.
Right.
We need to come down to the core elements of really what any comic book film is and should be.
Right.
And
a
that's-
discussion by itself. What exactly a comic book movie should be.
Well, I mean,
In
we
general.
can go to the Marvel films that have been, I feel, doing it well for the most part. Little things here and there that
But-
don't quite mesh up and connect. But
if you just look at the numbers, overwhelmingly successful, and the thing is, I yet to meet someone who actually dislikes any of those movies.
and
I've
same,
met a few.
same. Have you?
I met a few super hardcore DC fanboys.
Well, that makes sense then.
Okay, the most hardcore one I know, wanted, felt that Batman vs Superman was Oscar worthy.
Oh no!
Oh
no,
God,
no.
no.
Really, I have never heard
I
I've
wanted
heard,
the silence after that.
I
to
never
hang
heard
for a
any,
little longer.
I never heard any serious complaints I can't stand these movies when he's referring to Marvel movies from this person.
Well, and saying that, I think, in my opinion, comic book films should be an alliteration upon themselves of what is interpreted by the comics.
Someone smells fish food.
I do smell that.
I do not.
You people at home, soon we will have smell-o-vision, and you will be able to smell these scents we are smelling, and you will not like them because we will stick our armpits into the microphone.
Oh God.
All right, sorry.
Okay, now-
now,
Taking the MCU in particular, just because it has been so successful, the comics themselves, being built up over several generations and decades, and the films offered a fresh twist on stories that we were already familiar with, right?
Yeah.
Giving their own kind of scheme of things when it comes down to the events that are taking place. Kind of cherry picking from the different comic book lines that they felt that they liked and that would work in their
Well,
universe.
specifically with MCU right now, they specifically picked most of their source material from the Ultimate titles.
Right.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. And also another thing they did that DC is owned by Warner Brothers, right?
Right.
Well, one thing that Marvel did that really got a jump for them was they started building up a universe over 10 years ago.
Yes.
That was a tremendous boost.
And that's actually one of the points I want to touch on a little bit later on once we
Right.
get into breaking it down.
But
And it's actually one of my biggest issues with the
you're
film.
wrong. Like the merits of a good comic book movie, if we're looking at it from a standpoint, would be things.
It's the basis would be a solid foundation,
Right.
and that's what it would break down into on every front.
And the basic thing you
Or,
have to
you know-
understand about a comic book character is certain things like, okay, here's this dude. Here's what he can do. He can fly. He can lift more weight than any human could ever dream of lifting. He has laser vision. He has X-ray vision. Okay, and he's a good person, and he just wants to help the world. We can get a basic understanding. You can sum up Peter Parker and Spider-Man in a couple of minutes
Yeah,
and get a feel of who this character is. And if you do that, you can go throughout any material involving this character as long as you know those base things and understand it.
yes,
Yeah,
that is
that's-
true.
That's actually one of my absolute main issues with Batman v
Right.
Superman, is they didn't really care about the main reason. Even I loved the Batman vs Superman comics. The whole dynamic, the huge philosophical battle between the good, soft, kind-heartedness of Superman versus the aggressive, rough, more violent, cold approach that Batman took.
Yeah.
They had the same goals,
There we go.
Right.
but it was
Two different
sides.
ways, two
Yeah.
different ways of approaching the same
Exactly.
problem.
And they didn't tackle or even give a shit about any of
And
that.
going
There
on-
was none of it between the two in the movies.
There are some things to also surround this Batman. I think it's my favorite film version of Batman to this date. But my thing about it is, he's very, very different from any
It
other
was-
Batman we've seen, and we don't understand why because
True.
we don't get an actual background story for this particular Batman. We know it's the same deal that started this, but clearly there's some very, very different things that happen leading up to what he is now.
Yeah,
Now-
we don't get an idea of what their basic ideas, what their philosophies are. And it doesn't go into depth on any of that.
I think that leads into what I was actually going to lead into, is the writing of the film, and the foundation that it's created. It feels to me like the entire film was trying to ground itself in previous films and comics at the same time that have come before it.
That's what I felt
Now-
like too. Because like when you mentioned the Burt Wayne Manor, I'm wondering what the heck
Well,
is the deal with this? Are
yeah,
they just referencing? Are they just referencing Nolan's
it
Batman?
feels like Ben Affleck's Batman is supposed to be an older version of Christian Bale's Batman. And
Which is kind of like the guy from How I Met Your Mother growing up into Bob Saget.
yeah,
But,
well, yeah.
But I can't see it that way because those worlds are just way too different.
And they are.
They
yes. Gotham looked entirely
Also-
different. Metropolis was nowhere near
The other thing I'm
Gotham.
confused about is I thought the Gotham series, the TV series, was supposed to be this Batman growing up.
That would have made a lot of sense.
I thought that was the plan that they had, but I guess they're completely separate things.
They are completely separate things.
Yeah.
That also actually Flash, the television series, is not at all the Flash that we see in the film.
Yeah, this
yeah,
Flash.
in the film
Yeah,
is Latino.
that's one thing. He's either Latino or he's Asian.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Filipino.
Oh, you just broke him.
Yes.
Oh, in case you're wondering why we got that reaction, Manny is Filipino and he is constantly being confused as people cannot tell whether he is Korean or Mexican.
Never gotten Korean though.
Sorry.
Chinese or Mexican.
Chinese or Mexican.
And that was the end of the first part of the Good, the Bad, and the Spoilers for Batman vs. Superman. You can check out the next part in the next video. For now, like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more.